Hey everybody, I had a question about the specifications on the rock rod here, so I'll be happy to talk about that while we give it a little parade lap. This is its first shakedown, its first drive. So what you're looking at is 10 pounds with a 14 and a quarter inch wheelbase. I'm running shocks that were intended for an HPI monster truck, 1/8 monster truck. They're approximately 5-inch overall. The tires are pit bulls, as are the beadlocks. Those pit bull rock beast 2s are awesome. Inside those pit bulls are some super awesome closed cell foams from Crawler Innovations. Highly recommend them. I've got the wheels attached to the axles using Lattice Innovations shift hubs, which are the best thing I've ever put on a wheel. And if you put down a lot of power and you like to use scale looking wheels, that's a great option for you. I've got top of the line battery in this thing. This is a high discharge A-spec from Turnigy, 65C. It's a beast. It's running 4 cells. Got a Holmes Hobby power plant in here. It's the Puller Pro XL. It's bigger than a 540. It's more like a 550 size pan. It's 3,500 kilovolts, and it's being powered by the Holmes Hobby ESC that they've modded. They've basically taken a box stock type of Mamba Max Pro, put their own circuitry and software into it, and if you can hear it, makes no bing, 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 bing every time you start and stop, which is a beautiful thing. Plus, as you can see, I can move very, very slow, but it also has the ability to put in a lot of wheel speed if I want it. I've got it geared with a 57 tooth gear that's 32 pitch. I believe I'm running a 15 tooth pinion. So the spur's 57, pinion's 15. I've geared it down a little bit because it weighs 10 pounds. The axles are Asia Tees. I got them from Asia Tees. They're Boom Racing. They're called Fat Steel axles. It's basically a pot metal casting of the SCX10, AX10 axial plastic axle, and they're awesome. They are fantastic. I'm using Vanquish lockouts on the rear, Vanquish scale knuckles and hubs on the knuckles and chubs, I guess you call them, C-hubs. I've got MIP drive shafts. I've got the biggest, baddest servo you can get from High Tech. This is the 7980 with titanium gears. I've never broken it. It's an incredible servo. I've got everything set up with a panhard in the front, 4-link in the back. I'm using an awesome controller here. This is the Sanwa MT4, and I've got a matching 3-channel receiver on the vehicle that I've waterproofed. I'm using a Castle Creations VEC to power the servo at like 8.4 volts, which is what it likes. You can see the vehicle's very stable, no body roll. It's probably a little bit oversprung. The idea was I've been watching rock bouncers for years on YouTube, and I'd love to have a real one, right? But this is basically like about 1/8 scale, 1/7, 1/8, depends on what tire size you're thinking of. Single man buggy. The equivalent size wheel might be like a 42-inch Maxxis type wheel. As you can imagine, I've just put the thing together. I'm a little cautious about beating the snot out of it, but I did want to answer that question about the specifications of it. It's all 3/16 inch cold rolled steel with some stainless steel parts welded to it. I've used 308L filler rod, and it's all TIG welded, so should hold together really well. One thing I don't want to do is just roll it over in the gravel and beat the snot out of it for no reason. You can see it's a little bouncy, it's a little oversprung. That helps a lot with body roll, but maybe not so much with flex, articulation, and soaking up the uneven terrain, you know? You can see it bouncing off the ground. Every time you bounce off the ground, you're losing traction, so you really want to keep your tires in contact with the ground. So I could probably go with some softer springs, but then I'd really have to play around to get the damping just right. Running 30 weight oil here. These shocks are probably made for a vehicle that's closer to 12 or 14 pounds, but you know, it works. Like I said, I don't want to beat the snot out of it, but I am going to go ahead and just roll around a little bit here. As you can see, I can drive pretty slow with it. One thing that I should have done differently is at the very end I added those fangs, because I just didn't like the truncated look of the bouncer. I thought it'd be cool to have something with a little more character, but the fangs also stick out a little more, and so they kind of, you know, you can run into something with them instead of your tires just hitting it. So it requires a little more careful driving line. Yeah, I don't really want to go crazy with it like I would with one of my Lexan chassis that I just built a prototype. This is pretty much like a little shelf clean now. So I kind of trying to resist rolling it. Too late. Oh guys, at least you get to see the underbelly. I painted everything with Valspar, red or black. That's about it. I've got some body shelf work thinking about prototyping out of some aluminum flashing, but I'm not real happy with it yet. But eventually I hope to put skin on it so that when I do roll it, it doesn't beat it up too bad. Alright, thanks for watching. We're having a beautiful, mild first day of the year here, January 1st. It's about 52 degrees here in the mountains of Virginia. The dogs are loving it. I'm loving it. I'm going to go take a little trail run, and I'll talk to y'all later.